lot better than I remember.
Joy.
You made that. It's good, huh?
I'm telling you, God knew what he was doing when he created food and he created spices.
Yes.
And thank you for turning something as mundane or as routine as cooking into something that can really be an opportunity to give thanks to God, praise to God, and then bring people together and make our families more wholesome and healthy.
It's really a magical thing that he's offered us. Are you ready?
I am so ready. This is like my favorite place in the entire house. Okay. Anybody's house is the kitchen.
I'm gonna make, or you're gonna make, Bombay Gnocchi.
Bombay Gnocchi.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now, I looked up where this recipe is in your devotional cookbook, Unwind, and you've got it organized in sections like when I need a little pick-me-up, when I need a little joy, and that's where this is. Why is Bombay Gnocchi listed under joy?
Joy. Okay, well, this is one part of joy. This is ghee. Ghee is clarified butter. You're going to put it right in there and let it melt.
All of it?
Yep, all of it.
All right.
So that's clarified butter, which means that some of the milk solids have been taken out. To me, this is just sunshine, nuttiness, caramelized butter. So we're going to let it melt, and then you're going to add whole cumin seeds in there.
Okay.
So you can sprinkle it right in. And this is a very Indian technique to take whole spices and flavor the oil with them. So you can give them a little stir. I've got it on like medium-high heat. And you can see they're sort of sizzling and dancing around. And what you're going to look for is the color to deepen just a little bit. But mostly, you're just going to use your nose and give it a sniff.
I'm telling you, I am more joyful now than I was 60 seconds ago.
Well, the joy really for me is the Parmesan cheese that's going to come in at the end. The great thing about Indian cooking is it takes very simple vegetables and turns them into something really special. And this is how we do potatoes at home. So instead of potatoes, we're going to do gnocchi. So these are cooked already. You're going to carefully put those in there so that they don't splash up on you. So they're cooked and they're tender, but I like gnocchi when they're a little bit crispy on the outside. So we're going to brown them.
So if we were in Italy, we might say al dente.
Yes, they are al dente, and then we want them crispy on the outside. I'm going to hit them with some salt, okay?
Okay, now what does the salt do? Is that
So the salt is going to bring out all the flavors. A lot of times when people cook, they're like, oh, I should have added more spices. And often it's just that they needed a little bit of salt. We're a little too scared of salt these days, and yet we'll happily...
Salt is so important for you.
I know, and we'll happily eat a bag of chips without thinking about how much salt is in there.
That's right.
But adding an extra pinch here feels like, oh, so scary. So don't be scared of salt. We're going to let that brown just a little bit.
I was reading also in your book, you talk about the need to protect our joy.
Yes.
Yeah? How do we do that?
Well, I think...
Just don't overcook them?
Don't overcook it. And I think for us, our joy is rooted in our hope, right? And our hope is certain. So I was thinking about when, a year ago, we went on this road trip, and there's this place between North and South Carolina. It's kind of this crazy theme park gift shop called South of the Border. And when you're 30 miles away, there's a billboard that says, South of the Border, 30 miles. And my kids would be like, oh my gosh, I can't believe it. Then it'd be 25 miles to go. Their joy would increase as we got closer and closer and closer to South of the Border. And so for me, my joy comes from knowing with every day I'm getting closer to the hope that is in Jesus, which is that ginormous, delicious feast that he has ready for all of us. And so that, to me, is joy. Yeah.
And this is joy
Look
as
at how
well.
it's sizzling.
Look at this.
Yeah.
And it's getting crispy. The color is, and I can smell it.
Yeah. So, by the way, you can use this technique with vegetables at home. So start a little bit of ghee or butter. Put some whole spices in there, like cumin seeds. You could even do coriander seeds, bash them a little bit so they're easier to bite into. Let them sizzle and then add your vegetables, maybe a little water to cook them through. And there you go. You've got a very easy, delicious side dish. So while they're getting brown, we're going to do the next thing, okay? So push your gnocchi to the side. There you go. And then these are serrano peppers. You're just going to add in there.
Oh.
And I've taken the seeds out of them. So you're just getting some of that bitterness, but not a ton of heat.
The crazy heat.
Yeah.
I've learned that.
This is more joy.
The heat is in the seeds and in those membranes.
Yes. That's where it all is. So I added a little more fat just to help soften that serrano. More ghee, more joy. This is turmeric. So that's going to be this really warm, slightly mustardy flavor. And with all spices, that's what you want to do is get them in heat and fat. And then you're going to get the flavor out of it. And you're also going to get all those antioxidants out of them too. Okay. So now stir the whole thing together. You're doing very good, chef.
Thank you. My joy is increasing. We're getting to closer to the finish line where we get to eat this.
Yes, exactly. And then, let's see.
It's got this great Indian color to it as well because of the turmeric.
So we're going to finish it. You can see now they're starting to go a little golden brown.
A little, that's right.
So there's a couple things you can do at this point. I see that you have a little reserved pasta water. We're going to hold on to that just in case. So that has all the starch from the gnocchi. So sometimes when you're making a pasta sauce, you'll add a little bit of that pasta water to make a nice thick sauce. So we can decide, once we add the lemon juice, do we want it more saucy or do we like it a little drier? Okay?
Got it.
So you're going to squeeze that lemon. Yeah, buddy. And I'm going to turn the heat off because cooked lemon juice can get a little bitter. So that's why you always add lemon at the end. And then there's some cilantro here. You're going to hit it with that. There you go. Go ahead.
Okay.
Yep. So that's like confetti. And then here's the joy, is Parmesan cheese, as much as you like. Yeah. I like the play of all those spices with the saltiness of that cheese and the freshness of the lemon. Look how good that looks.
Amazing.
Yeah, and the cheese is starting to melt.
It's melt, and so it's getting all like...
So we can serve it up. I don't know. Do you want it to be saucier? Do you want a little splash, or are you good?
I'm good because I think I like it just like that.
Okay, good. So you can have a plate or you can eat right out of the skillet, which is what I do.
Wow. All right.
Just be careful, it's so hot. Down the hatch.
Ready?
Uh-huh. That came out better than I remember.
Joy.
You made that.
Wow. Oh, and there's the heat. And there's the turmeric. This is so good.
Warm, nutty, a little spicy, and then covered in that beautiful Parmesan cheese.
And it's
saltiness.
And the lemon juice just brightens it up so it's not too heavy from the potato and the pasta.
It's good, huh?
I'm telling you, God knew what he was doing when he created food and he created spices.
Yes.
And thank you for turning something as mundane or as routine as cooking into something that can really be an opportunity to give thanks to God, praise to God, and then bring people together and make our families more wholesome and healthy.
It's really a magical thing that he's offered us every single day.
Wow. I love this. Aarti, what's the best compliment you could give to a cook in their kitchen? Is it, this tastes great, or is there something else?
For me, it's, wow, this is really well balanced. Yeah, because that means you've taken all these different instruments, all these different paints in your paint box, and you've figured out a way to make them into something bigger than they were on their own. So to me, balance.
Yeah, and what you're reminding me of just in this moment is that's really what God has done in the very beginning when he creates. He takes light, he takes darkness, he takes air and water, and he creates a sunrise out of all of these different things, and he's given us an opportunity to also rearrange elements to become a new creation, like Bombay Joy. Aarti, give us a sneak peek into the devotional in your book that goes with this dish of joy.
Yeah, so I think I was always so puzzled by that idea of the joy of the Lord is my strength. I was like, that sounds nice, but what in the world does that mean?
Yeah.
And I'd read about this picture someone had given of a buoy in the ocean, and that the joy of the Lord means that the buoy gets hit by waves, right? Boom, 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 all day long. But the buoy always pops back up.
Right.
And that is the strength, right? Our joy comes from knowing that no matter what wave is coming for us, it can never hold us down because the Lord is always our strength and he's always going to pop us back up. And so that has really helped me because I think from the very beginning, even when the Lord called me and I got baptized, the thing that he gave me as a gift was my joy. And it spreads no matter where I go. And I'm so grateful for having this second career of being able to cook and share the joy of cooking with people. And, you know, there were periods of my life where the joy was gone. I had postpartum depression after both my kids, and the joy was gone. And I was like, this is horrible. And yet, what a testament to God that, like, the joy is back and it's better than ever. And I can use even those moments of being pushed down by the waves, right, as a way to redeem that time and tell other women, hey, this is not forever. You can come back from it too, you know?
Aarti, what about people who might love to cook, but because of health reasons or religious reasons or something, they have a restricted diet. And they can say, well, I can't eat the gnocchi. Can they still find joy in cooking for other people, things that they're not able to eat themselves?
I think so. I mean, there have been so many times where I've been fasting, let's say. And then it is hard, I will tell you, to cook for your kids when you're the one fasting. But I get so much joy out of cooking for people. And in fact, when I was interning at a restaurant, one of the hardest things for me was I would make this incredible tomato salad and I would send it out. And then I had no idea. I didn't see the look on their faces they ate it. For me, I get joy when you took a bite and your whole face lit up. That's it. I'm done for the day. Yeah, that's the highlight of my entire day. So we can get joy out of just the joy that we're bringing people, right? We don't have to get the joy out of the food. We can get the joy out of what we do for other people.
You know, I think that's another way that maybe we can compliment the cook is just by eating what they've made and letting it bring joy to us and letting them see that.
100%. And when we think about things that maybe our grandmothers or our mothers or those special people in our lives, the things that they made for us that we crave tend to be the simplest things, where it wasn't really about the ingredients or the complexity of the dish. It was about the heart of the person that made it for you.
Letting the cook of the house know that you just feel at home in their house, in their kitchen.
Yeah.
Everything about it, the smells, the food, the fellowship, and all the time that you took to put something like this together. Thank you for taking time.
Thank you.
To show me how to make this so that I can bring joy home to my family.
Are you going to clean this up?
Yes. How do we find joy in doing the dishes?
You know, Jesus is in the cleaning too.